Alright, today's project we're going to start with a 1969 Dodge Dart GT. We're going to make a car couch out of it. And I'm going to turn it into a Dart Swinger, which is basically getting rid of the chrome trims. I'm going to patch these holes properly, weld them in. And we're going to paint it kind of like a burnt orange, which is the color of the time. And I'm going to put a white swinger stripe on it. I got all the parts here to do it. This is going to be the outside. I'm going to get a custom-made couch made inside, and should look good in the basement. And this is what I'm going to use as a metal frame. We're going to keep the 4 wheels on and eventually get rid of 2 wheels and put posts at the front, so people don't slide around with the couch. This is going to be the main frame. It's 1/8 of an inch thick steel railing, 1.5 inch wide by 3.5 inch wide. It's bolted together. We're going to keep it bolted together. We're going to reduce it to the proper height, and eventually we're going to weld it. Alright, this is the third part of the car couch. We just about done the metal frame. It's got a bit of a slope back. We may cut these posts right here and slope them back some more and weld them to give you more angle on the back seat. The front has been measured halfway through, so the bumper will be measured halfway through. It will be perfectly in line with the thing. When it's time to design a cushion, I'm going to put 3/4 inch plywood sticking out slightly over here, and the cushion is going to overflow. You might see slightly of the blue here, which we'll be painted another color. Then the bumper will be tucked in slightly more than what the factory had. Of course, it's going to have that lower look. It has to be comfy so you can put your feet on the ground, and the bumper does not cut the blood circulation in the back of your legs. This here will be chopped. The front will be cut as well. I'm going to reinforce with a 1-inch square tubing on the other side. There's going to be a panel coming alongside here with overflowing material into the fender well. The trick with this one here is the one side, the passenger side, will have to be removable, so this entire couch can be put through a narrow doorway to bring in the man cave. There's the other panel here. Already changed half the quarter panel. It was that bad. Dodge Dart parts for $69 are expensive. This half-quarter panel was about $400. Broke my heart to cut it, but there's nothing that can be done with the car. Anyway, this was part 3. This is the progress. That's all. Okay, here's the Dart car couch. We have 51 across for the seating, if anybody wants to copy. And we have 24. The bumper extends as far as 28. We are 13 off the ground for the bottom of the seats plus the plywood. The back, we are 15.5. Overall length we will cut. However, we are 37.5. We'll cut it down to 36. Some people make it 31. However, 31 will make it with that green line is. I'd like to have the gas cap. 31 will get in your doorway, and it will look good. But depending on this guy, we're going to put a stripe over here all the way down, which looks going to make it a lot shorter, so that's why I'm going to leave it to 36. This is what it looks like. The bumper actually slides out. It separates. I did the electrical. I hooked up the, there's going to be a battery charger hooked up to light and hook up to an old remote car starter. That's it. That's all for now. Alright, part 4 of the Dart Swinger couch, 69 that is. I fitted the bumper, as you can see. There's about half an inch all around. Bumper seems straight according to the pictures I've seen online of the Dart. I did remove these little bumpers that prevent the rubber bumper below the tail that prevent the bumper from rattling. However, we could see in, so I'm gonna fill that up a little bit with more metal. I got a good fit. The middles, I'm gonna put some kind of bracket in the middle to hide that gap. This is the other side as well. It's fitting good. I did change the bottom of that quarter panel, and again, half an inch on either side. Now I have to arrange that this comes apart. Therefore, I'm going to put that bumper on slides, and I'll be able to install the bumper by myself once I get through the door from my man cave in the basement. And it's not too far off the ground. A fist. So that would be about 3.5 to 4 inches. 2x4s on their side kept the bumper in position, so that's good to go. And now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to reinforce these quarter panels so they don't rattle. They don't rattle at the front like this. This will prevent the paint from cracking. And I'm going to make sure that the bumper fit, because I tucked in the bumper half an inch by cutting the entire car in half and sticking it out half an inch. That's what that gap is. That's half an inch, maybe 5/8, but that's the separation point in the middle. So we're on track, looking good. These side markers were only side markers. However, I'm going to drill them, modify them, and put LEDs inside. I'm going to cut the extra for the back right here. This is going to be hidden by the back. And I'm going to cut here this straight in line. And I'm just going to make it nice and smooth. I might put an extra piece in the back. However, this is going to be the finished product anyway. I do want a gas cap. If I cut here, it should look good. Otherwise, I can't cut in the middle. I would have to cut it here. That might make it too short, but we'll see. Anyway, I left it off. I'd like to see a bit of the wheel well. That's how she looks. That's it for now. That's all. Here we are, carrying on with the Dart. We changed the quarter panel as we said before. Started sanding. These guys here, it's a sharp curve. So what I do is I put a plate on top. I'm going to cut it to the same shape. It's going to be a nice finish when it's time to cut the plywood. I did the same on the other side. Same. Welded underneath, which is going to grind. That thing's going to be sharp. The plywood's just going to sit there, and there won't be any sharp edges. It's looking good. Of course, this couch is designed that it separates in the middle, right here, one on top of another. The back plate here is removable, and it gives you the visual effect of the trunk lid or the cowl behind the window, or whatever you want to call it. That's it. That's all for now. And I put some ground lugs all around for the wiring harness. This couch will be remote, and a piece in there to support the 12-volt power supply. That's it. That's all. Looking good. Alright, just cut the wood for the seating. I'm just going to take that to the upholstery shop. I left 1/8 of an inch on either side to leave room for the material. In behind here, I'm probably going to put a foam. I'm going to sand that and give it a slight angle in. The material is going to go on top, so this way when you put your arm on the quarter panel, it's not going to go to sleep. I'm going to round off the edges all around. It should be good. It's going to be a 3-inch foam at the bottom, 3 or 4, 2 or 3 inch foam at the back, 1 inch or even half an inch on the sides with some patterns. And we're going to have strips up and down, just like the 69 Dodge Dart used to have in some models. That's it. Alright, so now remove the back plate, remove the bumper that slides out, undid the bolts. This is how this separates that easily. That easily. There you go. It's in 4-piece. Alright, this is part 11 of the car couch. 11 or so. What I did is the bumper is removable. With these slides here, there's a piece of piping, 1/2 inch stuck to the bumper, and I slide it into the other pipes, and I can secure it in the back with the bolts. As well, through the holes here, the bumper can be secured. It never touches the metal, the paint, or anything every time it's pulled in and out. So this is nice and convenient. In the middle, this is where the couch separates with these 2 bolts at the top. 3 bolts in the back, 3 bolts in the front. Those 2 plates are identical. One goes on top of another. The spacing is all the same. There's 3 bolts back here for the seats. There's the back plate, which will be painted the same color as the body. Is actually removable as such. There you go. Removable with the proper spacing every time. Once you remove that plate, you remove the bumper, remove the wiring harness. You can split the couch in 2 and bring it in whatever narrow door that you want. This couch is close to 400 pounds entirely assembled. The plywood is gone to upholstery. Of note, the back plywood used to be 16.5 inches tall. I increased that to make it 23.5. So I had 7.5 inch. So instead of being this height, it's going to be this height, and it's going to look better, especially with the 3-inch foam at the bottom, 2-inch foam in the back, and a 1/4 inch foam on the plywood that was on the side. This is it for now. We're putting the sucker away in storage until we paint it next month. That's it. That's all for now. Cheers. Alright. So now remove the back plate. Remove the bumper that slides out. Undid the bolts. This is how this separates that easily. That easily. There you go. It's in 4-piece. Alright. Here we are. We got the upholstery back for the car couch. This is what it looks like. This is the exact same color as the 69 Dart Swinger. And so we matched it as close as possible. Perhaps went slightly darker. I got the fluorescent light in here. The lights are not the best. However, we recreated the ribs. And the ribs are perfectly in line. And we covered the side panels as well. Don't see much of it, but you see just enough. That's going to look good. Hides perfectly. It's very tight. It's going to loosen up a little bit with time. And all we got left is to paint that sucker. Looking good. On primer.